Crawford fight, or should I say Crawford-Canelo. And if you guys, anybody that's been watching or listening to this show for any length of time, they know that 2 years ago, I'm going to pat myself on the back here. 2 years ago, when Crawford started calling out Canelo, I said on this very show that I felt that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez. Everybody thought I was crazy. And all the time leading up to it, and finally the fight was signed, and I kept getting asked, did you change your mind? Did you change your mind? And I said, no. And the reason is because Terence Crawford's a smart fighter. He's a generational fighter. And the truth of the matter is, he didn't just go up in weight, because that was the big conversation. Oh, he's going up 2 weight classes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but he didn't just go up in weight for one fight. All right. He did go up in weight for one fight, but he took a year to put that weight on. You think he just was eating donuts and shit like that just to gain the weight? No, he looked fantastic. And I'll tell you something that he did during that night that amazed me, to be honest with you. Not only did he look very comfortable at that weight, and if you recall, at 154 pounds in his previous fight, he didn't look all that big. He actually, I know the weight was there, but physically he didn't look big. But when he stepped in the ring with Canelo, he looked just as big. And he did not lose any hand speed. He didn't lose a beat. He looked like the same Terence Crawford that fought at all the other weight classes that he did against Canelo. And make no mistake, I saw a lot of stuff on social media talking about how I actually saw people say Canelo won the fight. Listen, the fight wasn't close. Crawford dominated the fight. As a matter of fact, my scorecard here, I scored the fight 117-111 in favor of Terence Crawford. Two of the judges had it 115-113. One had it 116-112. I feel that the judges tried their hardest to give Canelo the win. You just could not do it. Crawford won almost most of the rounds to me. The first round that everybody gave to Crawford, I actually gave to Canelo. I gave the first round to Canelo, and the reason is I thought he landed the more substantial shots. The second round was extremely close. I gave it to Crawford. Third round, I gave it to Crawford. The fourth round, I gave to Canelo. The fifth round could have gone either way, I guess. It was a close round. I gave it to Crawford. And then I gave Crawford round 6, 7. I gave round 8 to Canelo. I gave rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12 all to Terence Crawford, which came up with my score, 117-111. There's nothing left for him to prove, in my opinion. In a perfect world, I would like to see him retire, to be honest with you. I know everybody's wondering, oh, what's he going to do? Who should he fight next? Right away, people are finding opponents for him to fight. There's nothing left for him to prove. The only fight that makes sense to me, even though my honest opinion is I feel he should retire. Okay, retire at the top of his game. Not many fighters get the opportunity to do that. Walk away at the top of your game. You're always remembered for that. Boxing has a tendency to have a short memory. So if he goes out and lays a dud, like for example, Canelo. Canelo has had a great career. Now, all of a sudden, if he retired, everybody's going to remember his last fight, losing to Crawford. So if Crawford had to fight again, or really wanted, if his juices were flowing and he wanted to fight again, have the rematch with Canelo if Canelo gives it to him. The main reason is he'll be able to make some money. From what I heard, the reports was he only made $10 million on that fight. And I heard reports that Canelo made well over 150 was the report that I heard, whether it's true or not. But the truth of the matter is to me, that's the only fight that I would like to see him. There's nobody else. I know everybody and their brothers starting to call him out and everything else. But the truth of the matter is he doesn't need to do it. But we'll see. Give him some time, and he is 38 now, and he didn't look old. He's a preserved guy. And I've said all along, people criticizes his record, which to me is a joke. What people forget is that he started out really as the B side. He was a perfect, what people would call the B side, because he was undefeated fighter. He was out of Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm sure other fighters and promoters were like, hey, who could he fight? He's from Nebraska. There's no fighters in Nebraska. Let's fight him. And he won. He kept winning. He kept winning. Finally, the powers that be at one point said, you know what? Maybe this is an A side fighter. And everything changed for Terence Crawford. One of the biggest negatives he had, in my opinion, was Top Rank. Top Rank didn't let him fight enough. Listen, he proved to everyone that what you need. Not only do you need the physical tools, you need the mental tools. And to be honest with you, my biggest dream right now for Terence Crawford is I hope that his willingness to challenge himself and to prove his greatness in the ring. Okay, there's many other fighters that base their career on their record, their O, so to speak. That's not the case, man. All the great fighters, if you go back in history, all the great fighters, the greatest fighters, I should say, have always challenged themselves, win, lose, or draw. They challenge themselves. I mean, you got to give Sugar Ray Leonard credit. Of course, Sugar Ray Robinson, but you got to give Sugar Ray Leonard credit, coming out of retirement and going after the top dog in Marvin Hagler. We could talk about that particular fight over and over and over and over, to see if, who you thought won. I mean, many people go either way on that fight, to be honest with you. But the truth of the matter is he did it. Give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat room. I appreciate you guys coming for this